Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come on here today and talk about some things that I no longer buy or am no longer going to buy as somebody who's exploring kind of minimalism and sustainability and, you know, not shopping for a while. So I heard the term enoughism, and I'm kind of feel like I fall into that. I don't really consider myself a minimalist because the reality is that I have a lot of stuff that I probably don't need, although I am working my way towards that. I am going to be sharing some decluttering videos and stuff like that, so I hope you stick around to watch those. But yeah, I have made a list of things that I have not bought in a long time or have decided in the last year to stop buying, and I wanted to share that with you and see if anybody resonated or could get some inspiration from that. Have my list. So the first thing that I no longer buy is clothing and accessories that I don't need. So this is sort of falling into my shopping ban or no shopping challenge, but I'm kind of not really thinking of it as a challenge, and I'm more so thinking of it as a lifestyle change. So I really have enough. I have enough clothes, I have enough accessories, and I don't even wear or use everything that I have. So I decided that I don't need to buy anything that I don't need, anything that I'm not going to wear. I know that a trap that I have fallen into often in the past is seeing something trendy or seeing something that looks really cute on somebody else, or something that I like the style of when I look at it, or I like it on the shelf or in the rack, but then when I get home and I put it on, I'm like, this isn't really me. Like, it's not something I'm comfortable in. It's not something that I feel truly expresses my personality. And I've had to get out of the mindset of buying for the person that I think I should be or the person that I feel I'm expected to be, and rather just buying clothes for the person who I really am. And all of the clothes that I have are more than enough. So the second thing that's kind of along that line in terms of accessories are bags and purses. If you know me, you know that I have a thing where if I see a nice bag, or I'll think of a reason why I need a specific bag, I will just go buy it because I want it and I want to use it and I want to be the person who has that kind of bag. But again, I end up not using the bags that I have, and recently I realized what I really need is a really good quality practical backpack. I am going back to school in the fall, which is very exciting, but also just something that I can take on day trips or take to the market when I'm shopping for food, whatever it is. I needed something really good quality, so I did some research and I decided to get a Fall Raven bag, and I will show it to you. So this is the bag that I invested in, and it's small-ish. It's not a huge bag. I think in my closet somewhere I have sort of a weekend backpacking bag for camping and stuff, which I haven't used in years because I haven't gone camping in years, but I want to hang on to that just in case I do decide to go on a bigger hiking trip or a camping trip. The reason I haven't gone is because I have a toddler, and I was kind of waiting for him to get a little bit older before we did something like that, but I think that's coming up soon. Anyway, here is my day bag. So it is Fall Raven. I did a lot of research into the quality. It is the G1000 series, so this is supposed to last a really long time. It's a really nice sustainable canvas material, and it opens up quite wide. It's got a protective pocket for my laptop, and it has metal buckles instead of plastic. So yeah, I'm very excited about this bag. I had another backpack that I never used just because it was really cheap and didn't really serve my purposes, so I sold that on Marketplace, and I have a couple other bags now that I'm going to be getting rid of. It's going to be this. I have a Lululemon belt bag. I know I bought it when it was trendy, but I actually use it every single day. I love it, so I will be keeping that one as well. Okay, the next thing on my list is makeup and skincare, and yes, I still buy makeup and skincare technically, but what I mean when I say this is nothing experimental, nothing that I have not used before or know that I will not use. So this is another example of not buying for the person who I think I should be. I've always wanted to be one of those girls who was good at makeup and eyeliner and eyeshadow and false lashes, and I wanted to be feminine and cute like that, but every time I wore it, I felt like I wanted to crawl out of my skin. I am a very sensory sensitive person. I have ADHD, and I just could not handle everything on my face. So I have a very simple makeup and skincare routine now that I've been very consistent with, and it's done wonders for my skin, and I am gonna do a skincare video soon. But I have a very, very simple routine. So for makeup, I don't use any foundation because I don't like how it feels on my skin. I use a tinted moisturizer. I use concealer sometimes, but not every day. And I use a mascara and a lip gloss and a cream blush, and that is it. I don't put any eyeshadow, eyeliner, I don't use eyebrow products, literally none of that. So I don't buy that stuff anymore. I used to, thinking I would use it, and I have an eyeshadow palette in my drawer for when I perform, and it is, I've had that for years. I should probably check the expiry date, but literally do not wear that stuff, so I don't buy it anymore. And then just for the skincare part of it, I know what works for my skin now. I have a very simple routine. I used to be in the habit of trying all these new different skincare products that I saw on like TikTok or Instagram, and what ended up happening is I would break out, I would react to it. I have sensitive skin, I have sensory issues, I don't like fragrances, so I just cannot try new skincare now. I like what I like, and if it stops working for me, maybe I'll explore something different, but for now, what I have is working, and I let it completely run out pretty much before I replace it, and I never stock up or anything like that. So that is for makeup and skincare. Okay, so the next thing that I have stopped buying is jewelry. I have a couple of pieces of jewelry that I wear every single day. I have some simple gold hoops that I usually wear. I'm not wearing them right now. My ring and a bracelet with my son's name on it. And that is it. I have tried in the past to be the kind of girl who wore jewelry, but again, my sensory issues, my ADHD makes it impossible. I don't like the feeling of anything on my neck. I don't like the feeling of a ton of bracelets. This one, that's pretty much it. And yeah, so I just don't buy jewelry anymore. It's not something I wear. It's not something I need. So yeah, saves me a lot of money. Okay. One thing that kind of fits in all categories that I've stopped buying and paying attention to are trends, trendy things, and that goes for everything. Jewelry, makeup and skincare, clothing, shoes, bags, home decor. Literally, if it's trendy, it's probably not something that's going to be long-lasting, good quality, or really practical in my life, and I hate the idea that I just bought something because I saw somebody else have it or use it. Now, I have bought things in the past, I've been influenced in the past, and I've bought things that were trendy, and honestly, I can tell you most of those things that I bought that were trendy, I don't use anymore because they've gotten out of style, or they didn't last. Because the reality is, especially when it comes to clothing and accessories, really, really trendy clothes, they have to be on the market so quickly and so briefly that they are not good quality. That's just like when you look at the cycle of fashion and clothing, the stores that sell really trendy items like Shein and Forever 21, and those places do not make quality clothing, and it is not sustainable to be constantly buying the latest trends. So I've made a really big effort to ignore the trends and stick with what I know is practical, sustainable, and really truly like that I'm comfortable with. That's what it comes down to. Okay, so the next thing that I no longer buy are pads and tampons. I haven't bought tampons in years and years because I used to use a Diva cup, which is fine, but now I use a Nixit cup, and it is a different shape, and it honestly fits me so much better. So I love that cup, and when I'm having sort of heavier flow days on my period and I need something to really work well, that is what I do. Otherwise, I have period underwear and I have washable, reusable menstrual pads, and that is more than enough for me. Like, I wash them and can reuse them. I have a couple of my period underwear I've literally had for probably the better part of a decade, so I need to replace some of those soon because they are starting to fall apart, but I'm still hanging on to them. I will use them as long as they are usable, and then I will replace them when I need to. But tampons and pads, they just have so many components that are not sustainable. I don't know what's in tampons half the time. I know that a recent study came out and they found traces of lead. I don't think the lead is in an amount that's actually harmful, but I still just don't like the idea of putting stuff in my body with a menstrual cup. It's different because it's silicone and it's body safe and it's non-porous, so that's really important. But especially with things like toxic shock syndrome, that really freaks me out. So, and I don't like the feeling of disposable pads. I much prefer the cloth pads because they feel much more comfortable. And yeah, so that is where I'm at with that. What was I even talking about? ADHD, my friends. Oh yeah, just tampons and pads. Yeah, so I don't buy tampons and pads anymore. Okay, the next thing that I no longer buy, and actually haven't bought for the past 8 or 9 years, is disposable razors. I shave my body, so I do shave my legs, I shave under my arms. That is just a personal choice that I've made. I have zero judgment. If you are somebody who does not shave, power to you. Like I said, I'm so used to not shaving now that when I do have hair in those areas, it is a sensory challenge for me. So I do prefer to be shaven, but disposable razors are such a waste. They are so wasteful. They're just plastic that you toss. They end up in landfill and it's so unnecessary. So I want to show you what I use instead. So this is what I use instead. This is I think it's called a safety razor, but it is just, I think this one is stainless steel, but it is coated, so it's painted. I really love green. Green's my favorite color. My couch is green. So yes, I did buy a green one. Originally I had just a plain silver one, and I actually lost it. And then, so I couldn't find it for a while and it was driving me crazy. So I did buy a new one, and then I found the other one again, and I ended up giving it to a friend who wanted to try safety razors. So I don't think she'll be watching this, but if she is, I hope she's enjoying it. Anyway, with the safety razors, so you do replace the blade inside. You just unscrew it, and then the blade just sits. This one's kind of gross, so I'm not going to show you, but you just screw the blade in. It's very, very easy. You have to be careful because the blades are very, very sharp. Ironic that it's called a safety razor, but the blades are very sharp, so you have to be careful when you're using it. But I think I cut myself less with this than I did with a disposable razor. Like, I get less nicks, I get a closer shave, it's a more comfortable shave. It does take some getting used to, but it took me maybe 3 or 4 shaves before I really got the hang of it. You really don't press down as you're shaving. You just let the weight of the razor do the work and you glide it across your skin. I also don't buy shaving cream ever. I usually use just some of my soap or shampoo or conditioner to just sort of make a nice surface, and then yeah, so that works really well for me. And just as a cost breakdown, I bought a box of blades probably on Amazon 8 years ago. I am not even a quarter way through the box. They turn out to be 5 cents a piece is what it works out to. So I think I paid, whatever, $10 for a huge box of blades that I have not even really made a dent in years. So I probably replace a blade every 3 months, and I've saved so much money. So highly recommend. All right, the next thing that I stopped buying is gifts that I did not make or thrift. So for some people, the idea of thrifting a gift for somebody might seem weird, but I have found a way to do it that is honestly so nice and so personalized. And everybody I've given one of these gifts to has been genuinely very appreciative, or at least that's you know, what they tell me. I mean, who knows, maybe behind they close the door and they're like, but I think it's been great. So basically I go to different thrift stores as the holidays are coming up, and I look for things that I can put together in a basket. So candles that haven't been burned or used before, or like brass candle holders, like nice quality vintage things. Handmade mugs are a really big hit. Not like the cheap mugs that like have a thing printed on them, but once in a while you'll come across like actual pottery in thrift stores. Also vases, like pottery or really like vintage glass vases are a big hit, and I'll buy a bouquet of flowers and that will be a nice gift. Picture frames, you can get really nice picture frames at the thrift store, and you can get a picture that the person would like printed in it, or you can paint something and put it in the frame. So things like that, I usually thrift a really nice basket and then put the things in. And sometimes, like last year for Christmas for my brother, I gifted him a charcuterie sort of set. So I got a really nice, wooden cutting board from a thrift store. I got him some little jams and some dark chocolate that was local to put in the basket that I thrifted, and he loved that. So you can thrift really nice gifts for people. You don't need to be spending a ton of money and buying new stuff that they might not even like. So yeah, if you want to give gifts, that is a great solution. Also, thrifted books are a great option too. If somebody, like especially the vintage books or books that you really think that person might like, if it's in really good condition, I have found honestly like brand new books with like the price stickers still on them. So it's a great option. And then I also make gifts. So my camera died, so I had to switch to my phone. If the video looks different, that's why. So as I was saying, I do make gifts. I have a whole box of craft supplies that I've had for a long time. I have knitting and crocheting supplies. I have some air dry clay that I've made little like Christmas ornaments with and painted. I have some wooden canvases that I sometimes paint and give as gifts. Am I the most talented artist or painter? No, but the people who I give these gifts to genuinely appreciate a thoughtful handmade gift, and I love giving those. So yeah, I don't buy new gifts anymore. I only make or thrift gifts. Sometimes I'll buy food to add in, but yeah. All right, we are down to the last two things that I no longer buy. So I no longer buy decor for my house, especially, yeah. So the next thing I no longer buy is home decor, especially seasonal decor. Last year I did invest in a Christmas tree because we hadn't had a Christmas tree in years, and I actually haven't owned a Christmas tree in probably like 15 years, but we bought a Christmas tree because now we have a child, and I wanted to bring some magic of Christmas. Even though, Christmas is not a big deal for me, I genuinely wanted to put some magic in that for my kid. So I did buy a little Christmas tree, a small one, and some decor to go on that. But other than that, I don't buy Christmas decor. I don't buy Halloween decor. I don't buy fall decor. Like, I just don't care about that stuff. I'm not somebody who wants my house to look a certain way at different times of year. If I need to freshen up my place, I like having flowers or rearranging something. That is what I like to do. Otherwise, the decor pretty much stays the same in my house. I have pieces of decor that I had bought previously before I made this change, but I generally do not buy any decor anymore. My biggest issue before was pillows and blankets. I love being cozy and I love my home to feel cozy, so I used to buy a lot of decorative pillows and throw blankets, but I have so many throw blankets and pillows now from that era, so I don't need to buy anymore. And actually this is a thrifted blanket. So yeah, even now, probably a lot of the stuff that I own, I thrifted or got hand-me-downs or whatever. So I don't buy home decor. This is probably one of the last pieces of home decor that I bought, and I got it at a thrift store because I just thought it was so cute. It holds 4 candles. It's got little hearts in it. Obsessed. Brass. Yeah. And then I do have other little pieces of decor that I was gifted. I'm always gifted mushrooms because I love mushrooms. I love eating mushrooms. I love looking for mushrooms outside and trying to identify them. So I always get gifted mushroom things, and you know, we're good with that. All right, and the very last thing that I have decided actually quite recently to stop buying, or at least attempt to stop buying, this is probably the hardest thing for me, books. If you know me, you know I am a very avid reader. I read a lot. Last year I read 29 books. This year my goal is 40 books, and I'm at, I think, 21 right now. I'm at around 21 books. So I'm a little bit behind, but the point is I read a lot. So mostly I read on my Kobo, which is an e-reader, and I don't purchase the books that I read on my e-reader. I use the Libby app, which, if you're not familiar with it, it is an app that you put on your phone, and it connects to your local library. You need a library card to use it, and then it shows you what your local library has for ebooks, and then you can put them on hold and borrow them from the app, and they automatically load onto your e-reader. So I use Libby all the time, and I'm constantly reading books on my e-reader. I do get books from the library too, like physical books. So I've recently been really into reading about local like archaeology in Atlantic, Canada, where I live. So I have a bunch of books out right now on that. And then I sometimes thrift books still. So this is an example of a book that I thrifted at a book fair actually. And this price is wrong. I don't know. This is what I mean though, when I find books that still have the sticker on them. And this was like not even read, like the spine is not broken. Somebody just decided they didn't want this. So I am so happy when I find cheap books. I know there's a thrift store next to my house, and you can get like paper cover books, not hardcover, but the paperback books, which are my favorite to read anyway, for like $1.50 each. And I find new stuff there all the time. But I am trying not to buy as many physical books. Only if I truly like need to read it will I try and thrift it. And then I have bought new books recently, but it was a moment of weakness. And like I said, this is my hardest one. So I'm really trying not to. I have so many books on my physical to be read shelf that I have not read yet. And I have so many books on hold at the library. I have plenty of books to read. I do not need to buy more books, but that is my biggest challenge. So if you're ever watching these videos and you're like, oh, that person has it, so they're so put together and they know exactly what they're buying and not buying, trust me when I say everybody has their challenges and their weaknesses and things that they find difficult. This is not an easy lifestyle to live at first when you're getting used to not shopping. I have found though, over time, it has gotten a lot easier. Like at the beginning, I had to really exercise discipline in not buying things that I didn't need, but I find it so much easier now. If I have a thought like, oh, that would be nice to have, then I really think like, firstly, can I afford it? Do I want to spend the money on it, or would I rather spend the money on something else, like an experience or something? Secondly, do I have room for it? Do I want to store it? Do I want to clean it? Do I want to maintain it? Those sorts of questions. And do I really need it? Like, I didn't need it yesterday, you know? So if I've gotten by without it so far, then I probably don't really need it. And it's been really a really good way to save money and stay sustainable and like do my part. So even though it's been really challenging, it still feels good knowing that I've lessened my own ecological footprint. And yeah, so I hope this has been inspiring for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I would love to answer them. And I want to know what you guys have stopped buying if you're going through sort of the same challenge and journey as I am with minimalism and stopping shopping and sustainability. So I want to hear your thoughts. Please let me know. And yeah, I'm going to be posting more consistently. So please like and subscribe. It feels weird saying that, but I know it does really help me out. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.